Hello everybody again and welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host Mike and back in the People's Republic of where you at? Colorado now?
No, I'm in Mexico.
Oh, are you in Truth or Consequences or no?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go, dude. That's on my Facebook profile. That's where I'm from. So look it up. I've got a decent show planned for you today. Hopefully you're enjoying your time out in the West, not in the East Coast, right?
Yes, sir.
So what we're going to talk about today, this is going over to, first before we cover some of the hot stocks we have, because we have a few good ones for you here. One of the things we're going to talk about, subject that popped up, there's an article here on Zero Hedge, and it's very important to the Army of Apes. And what does Cameo say about the apes?
Go apes.
Yeah, go apes. So the plug here, Tyler Durden has an article just popped across the wire about 10:40 p.m. and it's trending on Twitter. Everybody should check it out and look up the troll stuff that's going on. It's actually pretty funny, Cameo. Did the president of Robinhood dump all his AMC stock right before they restricted trading? Well, let's go into Tyler's article here. He says, it may seem like ancient history now, but back in January, the great Wall Street bet short squeeze was all in the rage, and having heavily shorted meme stocks like GME to AMC to unprecedented heights as millions of retail day traders used the Robinhood account pile to buy in after a seeming wave of endless trading and a wave in the process of crushing reputable hedge funds such as Melvin Capital. That was enjoyable to see when they actually did that. Were you happy about that when those guys were getting the piss beat out of them? Yeah, it was revenge for all the crap that they did to everybody back in the '08 game. So anytime the little guy gets up, that's where I'm at. I'm always for the little guy. What about you?
Yeah, the little guy's always the best guy.
They were. Do you remember those days? They were pissing their pants. They were pissing their pants, and we were doing the the show, and they were calling Army of Apes and everybody insurrectionists. So like I was telling you guys before, they're against anybody that's against them, and they'll call you every name in the book. So there's not a good team in any of this, is there, Cameo? Everybody is pretty much, they're against the little guy, and if you go across the system, doesn't matter who you are, if you're in Hollywood, you're in there, you cross the system line and you go against the narrative, they'll crucify you and go after you. Wouldn't you say that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they needed a multi-billion capital infusion to avoid being margin be called to death. The wave that came to an abrupt end is January 28th, when the Robinhood took unprecedented action to render the financial system inaccessible to millions of customers and investors. As recently filed class action lawsuits claims with the sell only made as a retail brokerage found itself short on regulatory capital as a result of unprecedented buying tsunamis imposed. Yeah, that was a jacked up day, if you can recall that, Cameo, where the trading stopped and everything. And I think coming forward, I don't think we'll see this investigation for probably another year and a half. But there's going to be hell to pay probably in 2023. Wouldn't you say there, as far as with possibly the new Congress coming in and investigations of who, I'm sure they're going to get to the bottom of who stopped the trading. Whether anything will happen, I'm not putting my faith into politicians or anything. But what I'm saying is this has to be looked at, and why there was all of a sudden a call to a stop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody bailed somebody out, and we need to find out, what calls are made. At least gets an oversight committee to check this out. Yeah, some people might say, oh, it's just a waste of money, nothing will happen. Some of these aren't, and you actually get to see the true colors come out, like you do in some of the hearings where you could see them lying, even though they'll defend the lie, but they'll keep on doing it. You know what I mean, Camille?
Yes, sir.
So with this, the 13 heavily shorted stocks and processes ending the epic momentum wave, which is allowing a fresh round of short sellers, which the lawsuit claims included such financial science as Citadel, and they were getting trolled on Twitter yesterday. All the Army of Apes and everybody was after them yesterday on Twitter. It was awesome to see all the apes gang up, and Citadel put out this as far as their their cut and paste thing, or their canned response of what happened and everything like that. Durden writes, the fact that Citadel also happens to be Robinhood's biggest customer and pays the retail brokerage hundreds of millions of dollars front-run retail orders placed on Robinhood's brokerage in the form of payment overflow, only to be added to the complexity of relativity of the situation. So with that, basically what we're seeing here is they're carrying the cooler for those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which happens in all these. You know, you got to all go to all the dinner parties, the media and everything. That's what I'm saying. The media, politicians, all these big businesses. It's the uniparty. There's not 2, 3. It's the uniparty is one. And they all try to pretend on the media and do things like this, but what they are is they're all in it together to rob the little guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So he says, as we discussed in great detail back in February, exposing the Robinhood scam, here's how much Citadel paid to Robinhood to buy your orders, in which they said, frankly, we've seen a constantly stream of lies from Robinhood and never-ending bullshit from the company's CEO, Vlad Tenev, in which was laid out all the lies they have observed from both Robinhood's CEO and Citadel, including Citadel's threats to sue the Oblivion for alleging they front-run for their customers, only to FINRA to accuse Citadel for doing just that. So with FNRA, they said, resulting in blessed silence from Citadel's lawyers as far as they were concerned. The best summary of the entire January farce belonging to Michael Burry of February said, since the delete tweet, the Main Street Revolution is a myth. I wouldn't say that's a myth, buddy. I think you've got 4 or 5 million strong here, and the list just keeps on growing every day. See, the problem is with stupid shit like that, Cameo, is they constantly do that, and what they're doing is they're taking average Joes that are working hard, and they're just creating more people that are against them, and they're stacking the box. Everything they do and say to inflame people is just creating this. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the thing, is where I tell people is that you criticize this guy, you got to remember, if you're a retail trader, you're all on the same team as everybody else. So if someone has a point, obviously disagree with it and things like that, but remember, we're all on the same team, we're trying to help each other, and when you go and inflame another person and things like that on the other side, what you're doing is you're playing just into as far as into the big money guys' hands, because they love dividing you, and they'll use the media, politicians, and them to divide you, to get you guys to divide up and hate each other. So that's just, I mean, if someone's calling out a hot take, obviously, right, Camille, you have to take that on, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's going out saying a hot take or saying something that you don't agree with, obviously we have to throw our disagreements, but we could all learn from each other and have a civil conversation, and not try to carry a cooler for a politician or someone like that and say, oh, it's this fault and this fault. So, but we can all come together to say that we're united to help each other, to make each other better traders. Because they're counting on the division. They're counting on you to be divided, because they know that this is a growing movement and it keeps on growing. So support each other, help each other out to grow the community. That's why we say leave the comments. Plus, if you leave a comment on this show, it enters you into getting some free stuff, you know? So as the show grows bigger, we'll be giving out, Camille will be giving out his gold chains for where he goes and everything like that. Maybe some golden spoons from where you're at in different states. Maybe your state collection, your 50 spoon collection.
Yeah. Money.
I'm not talking about the girls you were spooning on the couch, though. Not that collection. Even though you could probably give that to them, though, right?
Yes, sir.
Would you be willing to give that collection away, or no? Is that just for you?
Just a collection of girls.
Yeah, he's got a collection of girls in every city, in every state, every town. Back in the day, he used to bring the house down, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
So anyway, so we have a tweet here. To be clear, this is from Jeffrey Gondalak. He says, to be clear, the name change would reflect Robinhood robbing the little guy and nothing else. Well, he's correct. So that's from The Truth there from him. That's a pretty good one. Still, memories fade, and Robinhood's dismissal of abdication of its fiduciary responsibilities was mostly forgotten, especially after the company, which the brief moment late in January was insolvent and needed billions to rescue funding, and it went public and has a market cap of over $37 billion. One of the first cases here in April, Southern District of Florida, going into case 21, revealed that a lot of what Robinhood and Citadel called conspiracy theories, which is what they do, right, Camille? They always do that all the time. They'll always go to what a conspiracy theory, and then it'll come out as a fact later. So they do that to everybody, every average Joe. Everything's a conspiracy theory now, and then 6 months later and 5 months later, what happens? It comes out as a fact, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this revealed that Robinhood and Citadel said everything was true, culminating earlier this week that the top trending hashtag on Twitter was hashtag Griffin lied. Looks like on Twitter, Wolf of my Street said, #1 on Twitter, Ken Griffin lied. Remarkably, the latest populist uprising against Citadel and Robinhood, incidentally, was on the same venue which most of those who slam Robinhood on social media also trade. So that's another thing there, Cameo. The two financial firms to respond to renewed criticism for their actions on January meme stock frenzy, as reported on Monday, Citadel's founder Ken Griffin testified about the episode. During the February congressional hearing, claimed there was no back and forth between the firm and Robinhood, firing off a series of tweets. So in that, if you go to the Citadel tweets, you could see that basically everybody fired everything off there. Going through the trading surge, you could see Citadel Security Revenue Earnings Report more than doubled in 2020. And you can see the statistics on that. I'm going to show that on your screen there, Cameo. It says here, in fact, Griffin was congratulating Robinhood for the really toasting success of Citadel Securities. He says, which is perhaps the best known of the best buyers of Robinhood stock option overflow, which remains perfectly legal of Wall Street exchanges within the intent of price improvement in a year, defined in economic pain and despair for many. But in that, what it did is it also helped many people that were retail traders to help their situation. What was good for them, and like we said, we're here for the little guy. Another plug here from the 25th, 2021. This is from Antonio Martinez on Twitter. Cameo. He writes, Citadel CEO Ken Griffin lied during the GameStop House hearing. Ooh, that's bad. Not lying right there is not that good there. So when asked of the U.S. Supreme Representative Juan Vargas if Citadel had any collusion with Robinhood, turns out there was communication between them. Ooh, not good. That's not good there. And then Antonio Martinez writes, see the following images for better context of what's going on. There's a link to his tweet. You could actually go look up where the link of the actual documents in the third part of this tweet. And if you want to go check out his tweet, there it is for you, and you can go check it out. So this is a developing situation. There's going to be lots of cases going forward. I'm sure you'll get a letter in the mail, Cameo, for your class action lawsuit sometime. What say you on this? Go Apes?
I mean, gotta be careful, bro.
Yeah. And you're saying go Apes on this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing about the Apes. They're on the march, and your crappy empire's on the run. So keep it up, guys. You're doing good. So that's all we're pretty much going to cover about this. It's a developing situation. We were going to cover the China power issue, but this is trending, obviously, and we wanted to get our take on this. So we're going to go into an interesting stock that one of the producers of the show, he's in the back there. He's new to the show. His name's Ozman Cometh. He's not with Ozzy Osbourne or anything like that, but he's close to it, and he wants to talk about this stock, so we're going to put this one out there. And I think you guys are going to find out that it's a pretty interesting stock from the research that he's done, so we're going to share this with you. Some of you already know it, but in a second, we're going to get right to it. Okay, guys, so the first stock we're going to talk about is PALT, PALT Incorporated. Last tick was $8.70. Interesting enough on this, I got the year history up, Camille. I'm going to show it to the listeners there. In November of 20, interesting enough, this thing was below 2 and change. You were trending a little bit below there, and then you got an uptick around May 21st, above 250, and then around this September, if you jumped in at the $2 range, you got a lot of coin, and some of you probably made more than just a little coin. Camille, this thing jumped to the $8.70 mark from just September and on in a matter of freaking days. And we're going to jump in to find out why after we do the website and do a pretty quick gloss over. Because, Camille, even though they say, well, you're on the website and you're reading stuff, what some people say is you got to know what you're investing in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You can't... You can't just go by I noticed some of these videos. I don't like to dog on the competition or anything, But some of these videos, you go in the guys and they're like, oh, this is a great buy. You can look at the candlesticks and look at the EMA and SMA line, but they don't tell you what they do. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you never hear what they actually do, and so people, you need to know what they do, and that's what we're here for, is information. Sometimes clowning around and everything like that, and sometimes you win free shit, right?
Yeah.
So PALT engages in the development of communication software, enhanced security, and privacy solutions for multimedia communications and data transmission. Its solutions include blockchain strategy consulting, blockchain implementation, white label video solutions, technology licensing. The firm included PALT, Camfrog, Backchannel, FirstMet, 50 More, FireTalk, Ribbit Live, The Grade, the Vumbar, the Vibe, the Maui Wowie, and everything else. Just kidding. They're headquartered in the People's Republic of New York, New York. Going to the website, Camille. I'm just on PALT right here. They have chat rooms. They have their memberships and products. Going on to products. Start a conversation anywhere, anytime. PALT for PC. Camille, you can join in seconds for video chat with new people around the world. Choose from 5,000 large stream chat rooms and join the conversation. So you could join the conversation with you and your wife and friends when you're on the road. You guys could have chat room parties all together there, Camille. What do you think about that? With all the the people, your guys' parties that you have with the neighborhood, you could just have a neighborhood party online where you're at work.
Boring.
No, you don't want to do smoke if you got them, or cigs if you got them, or no?
No, heck no.
Looks like they have PALT. What's that?
Rather be in a person.
Oh, you guys don't want to sit around and have shots and freaking talk about ex-girlfriends and stuff like that? No?
Yeah, no.
So they have PALT for iOS. They have it for the Android. They have it for the Mac. And they have it for the Tabletito. So they have PALT for desktop, mobile. They have virtual gifts. Let's go check out the virtual gifts there, huh? You can get the virtual gift stickers and buy credits. Let's see what else we got here. Virtual gifting at work. We don't want to go into the gifting because do we care about that, Camille?
No.
Let's go to the newsroom and find out, because the newsroom will tell us a little bit, the company newsroom, as to why this stock shot up from $1 to $8.70. September 21st, PALT introduced second quarter results 2021. Let's check out what these are. Approximately 50% increase in second quarter net income prior to the year period. Completed uplisted for the NASDAQ capital marker, ticker remains PALT. You can go on and read that report. The revenue for the last 3 months ended July 30th, 2021, Camille, they increased by 1% to $3.4 million compared to the 3 months that ended June 30th, 2020. So they killed it in revenue, and that's why it went up. They also, PALT in August 2nd, this was your key here. If you read this one in August 2nd, I think you'd be doubling out down in Vegas with the boys there, wouldn't you there, Camille, if you hit this on October 2021?
No.
Because you went from about $2 all the way to, you basically made that $5 times whatever shares you bought, because PALT announced pricing of $3.5 million underwritten public offering uplisted to NASDAQ. Also, PALT includes the first quarter of 2021 financial results. They had that for May of 2021. And so this was obviously anticipating and building, because in March 15th, you had, PALT Incorporated was participating to invest in MVest LLC and Maxim Group LLC in the Nargo Emerging Growth Virtual Conference. So with all those announcements, this thing blew up as far as that goes. Now let's see if they got any pub from, that was on posted on the website there, Camille. I know you said you want, and also the other thing too is I wanted to show you guys here, as far as members online now, there's the numbers on there, and they say chat with strangers. So the numbers are counting, they have a count of how many people, a live count of how many people are adding online there. And they have 100 million downloads there as well there, Camille. So that's interesting here. You could get PALT for free if you want to. So like I said, you want to talk to the neighbors and have the party there, Camille, it's up to you for tomorrow if you want to do that.
Yeah.
No way?
No way, no way.
What about party from the hotel?
What hotel? There's no hotel.
Aren't you guys going to the Honeycomb Hideout tonight or something like that?
No Honeycomb Hideout tonight.
No? Okay,
no, tomorrow night.
They did have a plug on Yahoo Finance here. Yahoo Finance says, what's going on with PAL Talk today? It says they're surging on abnormal high volume Wednesday. Retail traders are circling the low float stock. The average session volume is 692,000 over a 100-day period. Wednesday's daily trading volume had exceeded 125 million at publication time. Why is that happening? So it is trending across social media platforms. It's a top trending stock of Stockwits at the publication time. In other news, PAL Talk announced Wednesday that it had retained strategic advisory from ClearThink Capital to develop and deploy a comprehensive events-of outreach in communications program. They believe now they're going to enter the next phase of growth of their business. Well, let's just say this, Camille. Anything that helps support going against the big dogs out there, and we know who they are, more power to them. And I would say that hopefully we don't see that these guys get gobbled by somebody else that likes to annex them, if you know what I mean, in buyouts, you know? That happens all the time where the big dogs come in and first you got PAL Talk and then you got no talk because it's gone. And that's not a knock, guys. That's a comical thing. I'm just saying that's the way of the future as far as that's what's been happening in the past. Maybe this will be something different and we'll see these guys go far. You know, a la God willing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's go to Stockwits, check out what the real traders are saying. And then, yeah, we'll see what's going on and we'll get you checked into that hotel. Okay there, Camille, going to Stockwits. That's where the real retail traders are. It looks like it's funny how the alphabets are talking about Stockwits now. They're looking at social media boards. Never used to hardly look at that now. All of a sudden they're like, ooh, what are the retail traders saying today? Right, Camille?
Yeah.
You know, they're like freaking out about that. So now all of a sudden we actually mean something to them, you know? It's funny about how that works. Tupac DJ, you'll like that name. Maybe that's the name you should come up with on Stockwits, huh? The Tupac DJ?
Yeah.
Someday when Oz gets going, we're gonna have when we get Oz plugged in, we're gonna have we'll have 4 squares in the screen here. We're just gonna do that from now on. So once we get him locked and loaded here, I think we should have him part of the show, huh?
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see how we go along. If Camille wants to actually show his face on the show, you know. So I think Camille keeps himself off the show because he doesn't want the girls to see or anything, and he doesn't want the wife to have. His wife doesn't want his face out there. There's too many girls will be calling. So, anyway. Okay, guys, the next stock we have is PSFE. PSFE. Currently, last tick was $7.55. Going through the Grapholito charts, looks like you have this stock was at $10 in November of 20. Crested up to January 21. You were around almost the $20 line, but didn't totally cross it. And then you saw the Pupulito, which will get out there to, we're down to $7.55, which is still decent. It's just that's the way these things go. News breaks and makes and quarterly earnings, things like that. But we'll dive into it, check it out, see what we got. Going into what would you say they do here. PaySafe provides online payment solution. The firm operates the following segments from integrated processing, digital wallet, and eCash solutions. The integrated processing business segment focuses on the card not present and card present solutions for small to medium size business merchants there. Okay, guys, going on to the website. Well, looks pretty good. It better be good for having $8 and change stock there. Who they are, they're a market leader over 20 years of experience, take pride in ability of a combination of skill and nimbleness. Reach with relevance and able to offer an unrivaled portfolio, proprietary solutions, empower business and consumers to connect with each other using one meeting point, PaySafe. What makes them different? PaySafe difference follows the directly of DNA of the culture to put the customer first, which hopefully everybody puts the customer first and not last, which happens at some companies when they get too big. That's why PaySafe offers a substantial scale, employing over 3,000 people in 12 global locations with annual transaction volume of $98 billion. Huge. in the U.S. in 2019, and you'll find entrepreneurialism, relentless customer focus, and the ability for every level. Their DNA, this DNA has been in their blood since 1996. They understand how it is to stay ahead of the curve and how to anticipate new customer needs. Okay, so going into what would they do as far as this, the products they offer is cash online, digital wallets, integrated payments, online payments, point of sale, publishers, marketplace. Industries they serve, SMB, enterprise, brick and mortar, e-commerce, ISV and platform, direct marketing, education, field services, government and utilities, healthcare, iGaming, petroleum, card games, restaurants, retail, sports camps, bars, trucks, boats, you name it. Some of those are not included, but I just made them up. Clubs, no, they don't do that either. Smoke shops, yeah, they do that. So they do it all. So some of that I said, if you got the comedian commentary, some of it they don't do. I just made it up. But we could pretty much from government, elderly healthcare, memberships and wellness, trial and community, petroleum, pretty much anything that has to do with small business they do, and they get it done. Now you might be wondering who they're partnered with: agents for products, services, and support, financial institutions, ISOs, referred partners, and software developers. Huge. Going into the alphabet news, we'll see what's popping and why this is trending. Looks like you had a plug on Yahoo Finance a month ago, and it says they had an acquisition strategic foothold for PaySafe in Latin America. Getting out to there, well, that market would blow up huge in itself, especially with some of the things that are going on with migration, things like that, and opening up of some of the economies as far as when they get going again with everything, and as far as when stuff starts to pick up, down south, it's going to expand and grow. It looks like coming out of London, September, a leading specialized payment platform today announced its completion of the acquisition of Pago Effective, a market-leading Peruvian-based alternative payments platform for PaySafe. The investment gives strategic foothold in Latin America. Huge, huge, huge. Because like I said, once stuff starts to turn around and we start turning the curve on everything, when these markets start getting to going where they're going, you're going to see things blow up. And if they're getting a foothold in that, that's way huge. The payment processing down there between that and the United States is a huge market. Huge, huge, huge. I can't even go further than that as far as explaining. It's one of the world's fastest growing online merchants, where merchants and consumers alike are demonstrating increased appetite for alternative payment methods and open banking solutions. Together, they recently announced plans to acquire SafetyPay for 2 Latin American investment positions, PaySafe as a prominent payments partner in the region. So with that, what you're going to see in the future, guys, is that with the Latin American markets that it opens up to, what that's going to do, when they're involved in that, that's going to obviously get those businesses affected, and you're going to see the expansion of their revenue for the company, which is going to help you as a stock investor and is going to help them raise some more dineros to get a foothold more and more into Latin America. So you're helping, they're helping, you're playing with a stock that is in decent form. The company looks good. But what do I know? I'm not going to go to StockWiz to check out the real traders saying, because frankly, we just don't have the time for it tonight. So, and plus you really don't care about what the real traders on StockWiz are saying anyway, because it's time to go, and good night now!